Hello everybody, and welcome to Russell Howell's webcast of how to be a competent listener according to Morelli, Spitzberg, and Barge. Okay, now first of all, what is listening? Listening is the process of receiving, constructing meaning from, and responding to spoken and or nonverbal messages. But now, let me ask you all this, are you competent listeners? Oh Russell, what's a competent listener? Alright, I'm about to tell you. A competent listener applies motivation, knowledge, and skills during all three steps of the listening process: receiving, constructing meaning, and responding. First of all is receiving competence. Receiving competence means the listener is motivated, knowledgeable, and skilled at tuning into the speaker's message and attending to it. Pretty much, you're listening without responding, without anything, you're just listening. Now, luckily for you, on top of this nice little definition, Morelli, Spitzberg, Barge also have these steps. What are the steps? First of all, you need to prepare yourself to listen, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Be well rested and well fed, but not too well fed, because the stomach aches do really kind of make it to where it's hard to concentrate. That's all pretty simple. Just don't be distraught while you're listening to this person or tired. It helps. You need to clarify your purpose for listening, to learn, evaluate, or emphasize. Set a specific, flexible goal for yourself in the given situation. Decide exactly what outcome you hope to achieve by listening to the speaker. You really do need to clarify your purpose for listening. This is like, say we're in class one day and all of a sudden the teacher starts talking. What's your purpose for listening? Well, the teacher's talking about information that you need to know possibly for a test or to pass the course. So that's a good reason for listening. And what your goal should probably be is to remember all this information so that way you can apply it on maybe a test. Just identify the barriers to listening and eliminate distractions so you can concentrate on the message. There are a lot of barriers. Like, there's interaction barriers where it's like so someone cusses at you, you don't want to listen to them. That's a barrier. There's physical barriers that include noises and stuff like that. And then there's psychological barriers, like you're busy thinking about what you're going to eat whenever you get home, or how that Pop-Tart you ate this morning might have been stale. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's all a physical barrier. It's all barriers. You need to eliminate these barriers so you can concentrate on the message. Then, you need to focus your attention on listening in the moment. Concentrate on the speaker and the message and not on your own feelings. That's a good one too, because seriously, and I know a lot of times I'm listening to class and I'm starting to think, especially in communications class when we're talking about interpersonal relationships, I tend to not be able to focus on listening in the moment because I have my own thoughts and feelings about my own interpersonal relationship. Then, you need to postpone your evaluation of the message until the speaker's finished. It's like, seriously. If I'm listening to someone, they're talking, like all of a sudden they point over here and like, hey, look at this half cup of baby. And then all of a sudden my brain just stops and thinks, why are they talking about a half cup of baby? But if they finished, they would have said, this is a half cup of baby food. See? Now that's embarrassing. Next is constructing meaning competence. Constructing meaning competence calls for the listener to be motivated, knowledgeable, and skilled when it comes to assigning meaning to the speaker's message. I know that's kind of vague, but you know, again, Morelli, Spitzberg, and Barge decided to give us these nice little set of very long bullets on how to be a competent meaning constructor. Yeah, so first of all, we have to set aside personal biases and prejudices so you can attribute meaning to the message and make a conscious effort to listen as impartially as possible before you decide what the message means. And don't halfway through decide this is a good or bad message. Just listen to the message, evaluate it, and then decide whether it's a good or bad one. The next one is repress any tendency to respond emotionally or negatively to the message. Don't overreact or listen for flaws in the message. Set aside your emotional reactions until you've listened to the entire message and clarified your perception of it. And then, the last thing to do is analyze objectively what the speaker is saying. Listen for both the global meaning of the message and the speaker's evidence or argument. Mentally construct a picture of what the speaker's message and examine and evaluate its meaning and worth based on its own merits. That one was a mouthful and it's kind of hard to understand, but pretty much it's saying don't believe every word the speaker says. Look at it mildly skeptically so that way you can evaluate whether it's a solid message or not, whether it's true or not, and all that other good stuff. The last part, and one of the most important parts, actually they're all important, so never mind that. The last part is responding confidence. The listener is motivated, knowledgeable, and skilled when communicating to the speaker that the message has been received and understood. First of all, we need to identify and remember the main points of the message. Use memory devices such as taking notes to help you accurately recall the message. So like say you're at a job interview and maybe you was like, yeah, you got the job. Now, manager's trying to tell you everything you need to do whenever you have to open up the next day. You could either try to remember it all, go to sleep, wake up the next day, and get to work and go, hey, I don't remember any of this, I'm going to get fired. Or you could have taken notes, gone there the next day, and realized, hey, I can do this. So, next is to strive to understand and clarify the meaning of the message by asking questions to clear up anything you don't understand. Like this is one time, I had this ex-girlfriend. She was an orphan. I felt bad for it, but she said her parents died at SeaWorld in a fire. I had to ask a few questions. Next is demonstrate interest in the speaker's message by providing appropriate verbal and nonverbal feedback. Provide verbal feedback to clarify your understanding of reactions to the message. Let the speaker know you're listening by using nonverbal cues. Nodding. Yeah, and then going, yeah, okay. And then just listening, yeah. Then let them know that you're listening. And then paraphrase the message to achieve full comprehension and clarity. Describe the meaning that you have attributed to the message without evaluating or presenting your point of view. Pretty much this is saying you understand the message before putting it into your own words or your own point of view. Now, if you want to learn more, check out this book at wherever you can. It's Human Communications, 2nd edition by Morales, Spitzberg, and Barge. Lots of good things on listening and other fundamentals of communication. Thank you for listening and have a good day.